Did you know that no legislative session can start in this chamber until a British custom that dates back to the Middle Ages is performed? I'm Kevin Gallagher with the Legislative Assembly of Ontario. Let's learn about the throne speech. It's always needed to start a parliamentary session, either after a general election or a parliamentary pause known as prorogation. At the direction of the Premier, the Lieutenant Governor summons the members of provincial parliament to hear the speech from the throne.
As the representative of Her Majesty the Queen, it is my privilege to open the first session of the 43rd Parliament by delivering the speech from the throne.
The ceremony has opened every session of Ontario's legislature since 1867.
His Honour has just left the Royal York Hotel.
A tradition steeped in pomp, prestige, and symbolism. Even though the spectacle of today's ceremony has been scaled down, key aspects remain the same. The speech happens right here from the Speaker's chair. It lays out the government's goals and direction for the upcoming session. While this legislative roadmap is delivered by the Lieutenant Governor, the words are mostly written by cabinet ministers and other top government officials, a practice that dates back hundreds of years to England. For some, William the Conqueror's custom of discussing state affairs at Christian festivals with bishops, barons, and earls more than 900 years ago is a potential origin story. But as early as the 14th century, there's documented evidence of a ceremonial state opening to Parliament, where the king would summon his lords, nobles, knights, and clergymen to a royal residence. The monarch would seek advice, hear complaints, but mostly discuss how the crown would tax its subjects and spend its treasury. As Britain evolved into a constitutional monarchy, royal power became more symbolic. Some customs, such as the monarch never setting foot inside the House of Commons, continue today.
Because it would be very unseemly for the crown to interfere with the business of the elected representatives of the people or to intimidate them in any way.
In England, the speech takes place inside the House of Lords, and in Ottawa, the Senate chamber acts as the backdrop for the address. Since Ontario's legislature only has one chamber, that is where the speech takes place. The location of the mace in the chamber during the throne speech is important to notice. Historically, it's the symbol of the Crown's permission to allow Parliament to assemble, and it also represents the Speaker's authority over Ontario's legislature. While the Lieutenant Governor is in the chamber, the mace is not placed on the table, but instead held by the Sergeant at Arms, signifying that the House is not formally meeting to conduct business. Despite this history of metaphor and symbolism, the speech from the throne can have major consequences. Opposition parties can criticize the content of the speech during 12 hours of debate, known as the address in reply.
Earlier this morning, I raised the two major issues that were contained within some of the language of the throne speech. Further debate?
Of course, this takes place over several days. It's the first time the government tests the confidence of the House.
We say the government needs the confidence of the House. That just means they need a majority of the members to support them.
In other words, if the throne speech fails to garner enough support from members to survive a vote, the government can fall. Something that has only happened 3 times in the province's history. First in 1871, then in 1945, and finally in 1985. This tradition, practiced by kings and queens, has evolved over the years, and it still connects Ontario to a rich parliamentary heritage that lends legitimacy to the laws passed here. For more videos on parliamentary rules, traditions, and procedures, be sure to follow and subscribe to our channels. For the Legislative Assembly of Ontario, I'm Kevin Gallagher.